Hey guys, so I have something to share with you, but I wanted to let you guys know that we have started the visa process for Sumit. We've started the visa process for Sumit to come to the US to bring my mom so that she can come here and get more treatment.
Jenny's doctor reportedly made one point painfully clear. She should not face the long journey to America without the husband who now helps her through each difficult day. Yet while Jenny's health keeps changing, Sumit is still waiting for permission to travel beside her. And this is where their love story stops feeling like reality television and starts feeling like a race against time. Christina's public update confirmed the visa process had begun. Forms were being handled, fees were being paid, medical records were being gathered, and the family was trying to secure the next appointment. On paper, those steps sound encouraging. In real life, each step brings another period of waiting, and waiting feels different when someone's strength is not staying the same. For years, viewers watched Jenny and Sumit fight over marriage, family approval, money, culture, and whether their relationship ever made sense. Those arguments once looked enormous. Now they feel almost small beside one basic question. Will Jenny reach the care she wants in America with Sumit beside her? Or will paperwork force the couple into a separation during the hardest stage of their lives? Jenny's ALS diagnosis changed the meaning of every ordinary moment. Her speech became slower. Movement required more effort. Weakness began affecting tasks most people complete without thinking. A hand that once packed a suitcase for India now struggles with simple control. And a voice once used to defend this marriage now needs more patience to be understood. This is where the emotional weight lands. Jenny spent years proving she was willing to cross the world for Sumit. She gave up comfort, stability, and the approval of people who believed she was making the worst decision of her life. Now the direction of travel has reversed, yet the same relationship faces another border, another deadline, and another group of people deciding whether this couple gets to stay together. Sumit's role has changed as well. He is no longer only the younger husband fans argued about online. He now helps Jenny with routines, watches for changes, supports her movement, and understands how she communicates when speaking takes more effort. Caregiving rarely arrives with dramatic music or perfect speeches. Most of the work happens quietly, through repetition, worry, interrupted sleep, and the constant fear of missing a small change. People often describe devotion through weddings, promises, and grand sacrifices. Real devotion looks less polished. It looks like learning how someone needs help without making them feel helpless. It means offering support while protecting their dignity. It means staying patient when fear makes both people frustrated, tired, or emotionally raw. That does not erase the problems in Jenny and Sumit's past. Sumit began their relationship using a false identity. Jenny forgave a deception most people would have treated as the final warning. He later hid the truth about his arranged marriage, leaving Jenny trapped inside a situation she did not fully understand. Their relationship survived, but survival does not rewrite history. The reason viewers stayed interested was never because this romance looked simple. People watched because every new chapter forced them to question the chapter before it. Was Sumit afraid, dishonest, controlled by his family, or all three at once? Was Jenny brave, reckless, deeply committed, or refusing to accept warning signs? Different viewers reached different answers, and the couple kept moving forward anyway. Then came the family war. Sumit's parents objected to the age difference and rejected the idea of their son building a future with an older American woman. Jenny felt judged from every direction, while Sumit kept delaying decisions until delay became part of his personality. If avoidance earned airline miles, this man would have reached America years ago. Yet avoidance eventually met a moment where choosing became unavoidable. Jenny and Sumit married in secret, knowing family approval might never arrive. Their wedding did not fix every problem, but it settled one question. They had chosen each other, even when almost everyone around them believed the choice would end badly. Now illness has placed their vows under a type of pressure no wedding episode prepares anyone for. A couple arguing over trust still has room to repair trust. A couple dealing with family rejection still has options, boundaries, and time. A progressive illness changes the conversation because each month might bring a new level of need. Jenny wants access to care and family support in the United States. Christina wants her mother closer. Sumit wants to accompany his wife because the idea of sending her across the world without him makes little sense emotionally or practically. Yet wanting the same outcome does not make the path simple. The journey itself brings serious concerns. A long international flight is exhausting for a healthy passenger. Jenny would face extended airport waits, transfers, limited space, unfamiliar assistance, and hours away from the routines Sumit already knows. Christina plans to help, but even with family support, moving a person with growing medical needs involves more than buying tickets and choosing seats. This is why the doctor's reported warning matters. Jenny should not travel alone. Sumit is not asking to join the trip as a tourist looking for a vacation. The family describes him as her primary caregiver, and their paperwork aims to show why his presence is tied to her safety and comfort. Still, medical urgency and immigration urgency do not always move at the same speed. A family sees a shrinking window. A visa office sees an application, supporting documents, an appointment request, and rules requiring review. Neither side experiences the clock in the same way, and Jenny is the person caught between them. Christina has become the family's loudest advocate. She shared updates, explained the process, and planned to travel so she could help both Jenny and Sumit. Her role carries its own emotional strain. She wants to protect her mother without speaking over her. She wants faster action without promising an outcome nobody controls. She also has to manage public expectations because every update creates another wave of questions. Some viewers want daily answers. Has the appointment been booked? Did officials review the doctor's letter? Has anyone from the government responded? When will Jenny fly? Those questions sound reasonable, but immigration cases rarely produce neat public updates at every stage. Silence does not always mean failure. Progress does not guarantee approval either. And this is where rumor culture starts behaving badly. One slow speech clip becomes a claim Jenny has lost her voice. One mention of weakness turns into a story saying she is bedridden. One medical update becomes a dramatic farewell headline before the family has even finished explaining what happened. Jenny and Sumit pushed back against extreme claims about her condition. They made clear she was still speaking and walking with assistance, even while acknowledging her illness was serious. Both truths belong in the story. Jenny is not fine, yet treating her as if she is already gone strips away her dignity and replaces her real experience with internet theater. That correction changes the emotional angle. The story does not need a fake deathbed countdown. The uncertainty is painful enough. Jenny is living with an illness affecting her independence while trying to make decisions about where she receives care, who stays beside her, and how much of her private struggle becomes public information. People also questioned the fundraiser. Some supporters donated without hesitation because they saw a couple facing medical costs, care needs, travel expenses, and a major international move. Others asked why television personalities needed financial help from viewers, especially after spending years on a successful franchise. Those questions should not be treated as cruelty. Public fundraising creates a fair expectation of transparency. Donors deserve a clear explanation of how money supports care, equipment, travel, and family assistance. At the same time, transparency does not mean Jenny owes strangers every medical record or private financial statement. The fair position sits between blind trust and automatic suspicion. People are allowed to ask where funds go. People are not entitled to invent fraud without proof. The internet struggles with this middle ground because outrage travels faster than patience, and patience has never been reality television's strongest cast member. The fundraiser also exposes a larger issue. Viewers watched Jenny and Sumit provide years of content, yet public visibility does not always equal long-term financial security. Screen time does not guarantee permanent health coverage, savings, or protection from a medical crisis. Fame opens doors, but medical bills still walk through them. Sumit's employment became another target. Critics asked why he was not working more, while supporters argued full-time caregiving limits normal work. Both points reveal the same pressure. The household needs income, yet Jenny needs help. Every hour spent earning money is an hour someone else must handle care, and every hour spent caregiving reduces time available for earning. There is no neat solution hidden inside a dramatic speech. Families dealing with serious illness often balance money, time, pride, and exhaustion all at once. They might need help while still feeling uncomfortable asking. They might defend one decision today and reconsider it tomorrow because the person's condition changes. Jenny also faces an identity conflict. She built her public image around stubborn independence. She moved to India despite warnings. She defended her marriage during humiliating family confrontations. She refused to leave when viewers expected her to pack her bags. Accepting more help now means confronting the loss of control she fought so hard to protect. That emotional shift deserves more attention than another argument over whether her relationship began the right way. Jenny is no longer trying to prove she belongs in India. She is trying to decide what care gives her the best support while her body sets new limits. Sumit faces a different conflict. For years, he struggled to separate his choices from his family's expectations. Now he has a role nobody else defines for him. He is Jenny's husband and caregiver, and every decision carries direct consequences. He cannot hide behind his parents, cultural pressure, or confusion about what he wants. That responsibility might explain why the visa issue hit so hard. Sumit knows Jenny crossed borders for him. If she now returns to America for treatment while he stays behind, the separation would feel like a painful reversal of their entire story. She spent years waiting for him to choose her openly. Now he is waiting for another system to allow him to stand beside her. Still, approval would not end the crisis. This part often gets lost because a visa creates a clean headline. Sumit approved. Jenny coming home, family reunited, yet once the celebration ends, practical questions begin. Where will they stay? Who will coordinate appointments? How will daily care be divided between Sumit, Christina, and other relatives? What happens if Jenny needs equipment during the flight or soon after arrival? How long would Sumit be permitted to remain? What happens to their home and responsibilities in India? America represents access to family and insurance support, but relocation carries emotional costs. Jenny would leave the home she built with Sumit. Sumit would enter a country where he has never shared daily married life with her. Both would face stress while learning a new care routine, and Christina would shift from distant advocate to hands-on support. The family also faces public pressure to make the perfect decision. If Jenny stays in India, critics ask why she did not return sooner. If she travels, critics question the cost and risk. If Sumit receives permission, people examine his motives. If he does not, people blame him for a system he does not control. There is no choice free from criticism, because viewers have spent years assigning fixed roles to this couple. Jenny is either the victim or the stubborn woman who ignored every warning. Sumit is either the devoted husband or the man who wasted her time. Real people rarely fit those clean categories for long. Sumit caused real harm through deception and delay. He also stayed through a crisis requiring patience, physical support, and emotional labor. Jenny made choices placing her in difficult situations. She also showed courage, loyalty, and a willingness to live with the consequences of those choices. Holding both truths creates a more honest picture than turning either person into a hero or villain. Christina's involvement adds another layer. She once watched her mother build a life thousands of miles away. Now she is trying to bring Jenny closer without separating her from the husband she depends on. Her mission is not simply to bring her mother home. She wants both of them to travel together, because bringing Jenny back while leaving Sumit behind might solve one problem and create another. This makes the visa request the emotional center of the story. A piece of paperwork now carries the weight of a marriage, a caregiving plan, a daughter's fear, and a medical timeline nobody controls. That is far more compelling than claiming doctors gave Jenny a dramatic number of days. The honest story already contains enough suspense. The family has started the process. Medical support has reportedly been gathered. Christina is trying to help. Sumit is waiting for the next step. Jenny's condition continues to shape every decision, and nobody knows whether the timing will work in their favor. Viewers who followed Jenny and Sumit from the beginning understand why this moment feels different. Their previous crises often came from choices. Sumit chose deception. His family chose opposition. Jenny chose to remain. The couple chose a secret wedding. Those events involved responsibility and blame. Al's is not a choice. Immigration timing is not fully under their control. This time, determination does not guarantee the ending they want. They can complete forms, collect records, contact officials, raise funds, and plan the journey, yet none of those actions promise a smooth result. That lack of control is where empathy should replace entertainment. Reality television trains people to expect a twist, a confrontation, and a resolution before the credits. Serious illness does not follow episode structure. Progress might look like one easier day. Bad news might arrive quietly. A family might celebrate an appointment while still fearing the decision after it. The couple's past still matters because it explains why neither one views separation as a minor inconvenience. Jenny spent years fearing Sumit would choose his family over her. Sumit spent years trying to prove his marriage was permanent. Being forced apart now would reopen the oldest wound in their relationship at the worst possible time. A visa approval would carry emotional meaning beyond travel. It would show Sumit choosing Jenny again through action, paperwork, caregiving, and relocation. It would give Christina support while helping her mother. It would also place Sumit under a new level of responsibility once they reached the United States. A refusal or long delay would force harder decisions. Jenny might remain in India longer than planned. Christina might need to increase her support there. The family might reconsider travel arrangements or care options. None of those choices would mean anyone stopped fighting, but each one would change the future they were trying to build. This is why the public should resist turning every update into a final verdict. Starting the visa process is progress, not victory. Medical documentation strengthens the family's explanation, but it does not decide the case. Fundraising offers support, but money cannot control timing. Hope deserves space, yet honesty requires acknowledging the uncertainty. Jenny and Sumit's story was always strange, messy, and difficult to defend in simple terms. Their relationship began with a lie, survived another secret, faced family rejection, and reached marriage through years of conflict. Many viewers predicted the relationship would collapse long before now. Instead, the crisis exposing their greatest vulnerability has also exposed the strongest part of their bond. Sumit is still there. Jenny still wants him beside her. Christina is fighting for both of them rather than asking her mother to leave him behind. The family's plan depends on staying together, not escaping one another. That does not turn their history into a fairy tale. Love does not erase deception. Caregiving does not cancel past mistakes. Yet people are more than the worst choice they made years ago. And relationships are sometimes measured by how both people respond when life becomes smaller, harder, and less forgiving. The final question is no longer whether Jenny and Sumit proved critics wrong. They already stayed together longer than many people expected. The question now concerns time, care, and whether the systems around them move quickly enough to protect Jenny's wishes. She wants treatment and family support in America. She wants her husband beside her. Sumit wants to travel as the person helping her through daily life. Christina wants to bring them both home safely. Every part of the plan sounds clear until paperwork, health, money, and distance collide. The next update might bring an appointment, a decision, or another delay. Any one of those outcomes will change the family's direction. Yet the visa is only the first door. Once it opens, Jenny and Sumit still face the journey, the transition, the care plan, and the emotional cost of leaving India. Their love survived catfishing, public humiliation, family pressure, legal problems, and years of doubt. Now the opponent has no face to argue with and no opinion to change. Time keeps moving, and the next chapter begins with one unanswered question. If Sumit reaches America with Jenny, what happens when the family members waiting there finally take control of the decisions neither Jenny nor Sumit wanted to surrender?